Hey guys, welcome back. This is Vinyl Thrash. I'm here in Xplane 11 with the Flight Factor 767. And I figured I'd do a tutorial because I love this plane. And I haven't, ever really done a tutorial. But I've got kind of a workflow that works for me, and I figured I'd share it with some people. So we're going to go ahead and hop in, and the first thing you're going to want to do is open up the iPad, and I'll briefly go over this. It's pretty self-explanatory. But you can check. I have real limits on. Challenge level 0 because I'm still kind of getting used to the plane. Real time refers to loading, which I'll get to later. And then I hide the yokes because I have a yoke here, and it kind of gets in the way. I'll move this. It kind of gets in the way of of that display when everything's on. So I just hide it for my personal preference, and then you save the options there. So you'll notice on the outside view I have some ground crew work in, and I have some covers on. So what we're going to do is go ahead and remove those covers and kind of get the plane started up. I am at Salt Lake. If you watch my videos, you'll know that I love Salt Lake. But anyways, let's go ahead and go in. We have some really nice animation on the windshield. You'll see some drops and some streaks and stuff. It's really nice. So anyways, you're going to open up the iPad, go to ground. I use the high pressure unit, the GPU, fuel truck chocks, gate config, ASU, LSU, and then I'm going to disable covers. And what that'll do is just get rid of those covers over the turbines. So, and also I apologize if I sniff a lot. I have some allergies going on. So anyway, so I have gate config. What that is basically set up for the gate essentially. And then the high pressure units, because I'm in Utah, we're higher elevation, so I just have that pressure. And then for airplane, I turn off the dynamic blinds just because I like my wing views, and they'll close the blinds if I have that. Auto gear lever, I just like having the gear go to off by itself. I like the winglets, and I have the Pratt & Whitney because I don't have these. So the first thing you're going to want to do when you get in is prepare the cockpit. Make sure you have at least the GPU on, and chocks usually is and gate config. The rest you don't really need to worry about right now. We can start the loading. So what I'm doing is this flight, so it's Southwest 3638, even though I'm Delta, and it's Salt Lake City to Denver. So the reason why I use FlightAware is because you have the route here, and it's super easy. You don't need to search for stars, and if you really want to know what runway they took off on, you just zoom in and it shows you here. So it looks like 34 right is the runway we're going to be taking off, and the way I find that, one, I know the airport, but if you come into here, here's a diagram. So 34 right's right here. You can just tell, you can kind of match the airport. So that's what I do, because I'm nowhere near professional. You get your altitude here, and it's just, they kind of have all the information you really need, except for fuel, but you can plan that in the FMC. So anyways, let's go back. So what I usually do, we'll say light 170, optimize that. Cargo weight about 6,000. I'm just gonna go with it's not too long of a flight, so let's do 20,000 just for shits and giggles. And then we'll hit load. So that's gonna start loading the plane. So we're gonna want to turn on the power here. So first thing you're gonna do is go to the upper panel, and it looks, at least for me, it was very intimidating, but it's actually really easy. It's just kind of straight up and down. So you start here, you hit the battery switch, click on it, or you can scroll. I like the clicking. Click on that, and then the rest of it is pretty much middle mouse wheel. So you turn that to auto. Whoops. So I'll zoom in. So you turn on the battery, you open the little switch, click it on, hit the standby power to auto. You're going to hit the external power button, and then the bus ties, left and right. Okay, so now that those are on, what I personally do, and you don't need to do this, is I turn on all of the buses just to have them on, and then I set the APU to on, so that can start running. And then I can come up here, switch that to nav, 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 and that's going to start aligning the IRS devices. Turn these to auto, and then I just turn on the hydraulic pumps now, because I don't have a ground crew I need to worry about. So turn on our lights. Okay, and then I usually just turn on these three. just the position lights. I'll show you what those look like on the outside. Just some flashes and stuff, kind of let people know. And then you're gonna start seeing some things turn on. A bunch of messages here. Just ignore those for now. Okay, so we've cleared this panel. This panel looks good, so we're gonna move on. So again, what I do is I turn on all the pump. Oh god. All the pumps, just because, again, I don't have a ground crew. I don't really worry about fuel. And then this is pretty much good here. So we'll come up here, turn on our window heats, and then this, for some reason, doesn't work for me, but everyone else just kind of kills the guy. It's just your flight attendant, I believe. You just keep pressing it, or co-pilot, and eventually he'll just kill himself, actually. I turn these to on because I like knowing whether the seatbelt signs are on or not. Cabin altitude's usually pretty good. Keep it on auto 2. And then you put your landing altitude. We're landing in Denver, so I believe off the top of my head it's, what was it, 431? I believe that's about what it is, or 435, I think it is. I'll put 431. It's usually pretty good. I'll just put 430. Equipment cooling auto. You can turn on the cabin lights, chart light. I believe that's on the yoke. I never use it. And then dome light, which makes it brighter in here. And then if you ever want to get the wing views like I have, what you have to do is come here and unlock that door, and then you just kind of open it, and then that leads to a really, actually, whoa, oops, I went outside, but that opens the cabin, and you can set your wing views up there, and the wing views are really nice. It's kind of foggy right now because I have the light on, but anyways, let's go ahead and zoom in and lock that door back up. They don't need to be in here. Okay. Alright, so moving along, here's our fuel. So you have 15, that's good. Fuel temp is 8 degrees Celsius. So this panel's good, so we're going to move on here. It's already on auto. Sometimes it'll be down on off. You just change it up there. Turn on your trim air recirc fans. Leave your packs on auto. Turn on your isolation valves. That center one, I always do that. Your left and right engine valves, I forgot what it actually is, and then your APU. Okay, so now the overhead is done. So we're going to go ahead and set up the FMC now. So you just click on here. It's going to give you nav data out of date. I actually have the updated one. So we put in reference airport now. So the cool thing about this plane is you can click on it, bring this up, and then click the left corner, and you can actually use your keyboard. So we'll clear KSLC. That's where we're at. And then we take this and throw it right there. And then you'll notice how this changed. So it's now aligned, or it's in the process, I believe, actually. Yeah, I think it's... Yeah, I don't have real time, so it's instantly done for me. So next we go to route, put Salt Lake in there, and then we're going to KDEN. Whoops, I gotta turn this back on. Going to KDEN. Flight number, we'll just steal this. We'll put Delta 3638. Okay, so 3638. Put that in the flight number, and I'm not using a company route. So now, I don't know if you know by now, if you're flying this, you probably know, but if you don't, how to put in this flight plan. So we have on our flight plan a SID, I believe it is, and then a star, and then we have our waypoint. For this one, there's only one, but if we do, like, say, these are all the ones I've done before. Phoenix to Salt Lake, it's going to be different. You'll have more. Usually the first and the last ones are your SID and your star, and then anything in between is your waypoint. So just so you know. So we're just going to put in Chi here. Oops. Get back in there. So Chi, and that's going to go to 2. And we'll select the closest one. So that is our only waypoint. Usually what I do is I activate, and then I go to departure. So again, we'll go back here. Ensign 4 is our SID. And we're going to depart off of 34 right. Transition to Chi, but I already put that in. And then we'll go back, and when you press depart and arrival again, you have to go to index, and then it'll take you back where you need to go. KDEN. And we're going to be landing using, I believe it's French 3. So we'll hit French 3, and then 34 left is the actual one. And I just know that by how many times I landed there. So now you're going to go to the leg, at least this is what I do. I go to the legs page, and I look for any discos. So you just click on French, move it up, hit execute, and then that's fixed. Okay, that looks good. And then we have vectors here. So what that means is basically ATC is going to direct you in. So we'll do that ourselves, and I'll show you how that's going to look. This is, if you already know how to do this, you can skip past it. So that's set up now. So what I have done is I've set up a little view so I can use this and kind of control this screen. So what we're going to do is put this in plan, which is all the way to the right. And then I like going to 20 so I can kind of see a little bit more. Go to our first page of legs and then hit step. So what that's going to do is step through our entire plan. Okay, we come in here, and then we're parallel with the runway. Then we come down here, and right after Wascal, we get vectored. So at that vector, we'll turn ourselves around and get us back on course. So that looks good. Put that back to 10. Okay, so now this is all set up. So we're going to set up our glare shield. If you're using an add-on like ATC, what I do, just a quick, you go to frequency selector, delivery, file flight plan, and put in your entire flight plan. That's going to be this whole thing. So here I was doing Salt Lake City to Dallas Fort Worth, so I took every single one. You'll see Rado is there, Womack's ensign. That's just kind of the departure. But anyway, you put that in from there, and then they'll give you your first altitude restriction. So we're going to do that ourselves. So we're going to say we're cleared to fly to 11,000 feet. Okay, so we're going to turn on our left flight director, then our right. We're going to hit auto here for the frequency selector, so it'll tune to anything you need, and you don't really need to do anything. Then hit LNAV and VNAV. If you set up your oh right, we have to, I forgot. We have to set up our perfinet. So zero fuel weight, you just select that. I usually do 2, just because it's not really needed. I've never used it. Like I said, I'm not professional. 390 is going to be our cruise altitude, and again, I found that right here. And then cost index, I usually put 23. I found that's good. Go to takeoff. We're doing a 5-degree flaps. Center of gravity, it'll calculate itself and put our trim, and so you can select, you can push that up or down and select the trim. I have it assigned to my joystick, so I'll just do it myself. 2.3, that's about, say right there. And then if you want it to auto calculate your V speeds, just select on, and then you just kind of click them into place, and then that's set up. Now that that's done, you come back up here, and then you can enable VNAV for future use. And then you're going to want to put in your runway heading. I usually do that when I get there because I'm lazy. Okay, so now this is set up, so let's go down to the radio stack now and start getting ready. So everything's kind of already set up. This is where you actually tune your frequencies, and then when you do an ILS landing, you put them in here. So what I always do is just turn it on. I've had it fail on me before. I don't know if it's necessary or not. I just turn it so it turns on, and then towards the end of the flight, I actually deal with that. So now we're ready to push back and start engines. So you'd get clearance for all that. So what we're gonna do is make sure. Oh, this is a big thing. You need to make sure your APU is running. So we turned it on before. So you hit this right button here. And so we got the APU warmed up, so you just press it on start for a second, then turn it back, oh shit, start, and then turn it back on, and then you'll notice on here, the RPM is going to go up, and I wait till it hits 100%. So we'll just wait a second here, kind of check out the plane in the meantime. We'll get our ground crew clear. You want to make sure you keep GPU on though. Fuel truck can go, baggage covers and all that can go. Keep the chocks on. We'll keep the high pressure unit for now. We'll close all the doors, and while we're at it, we'll welcome people on board.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain and crew would like to welcome you on board
8385,
this
so it's getting there.
767-300 airliner. If you haven't already done so, please stow your carry-on luggage.
And then here's some screen switches, kind of for brightness, and then over here there's more. You can turn on your panel lights and make your map screens brighter and shit like that, so that's available. Alright, so see, it's at 100% RPM, so what we're going to do now is hit this APU gen, and then so now the plane's running on APU power as soon as we disconnect the ground power. So you'll see, we'll go here, ground, and disconnect that. And for some reason, it didn't switch to, oh, the bus ties. Didn't I press those? I'm pretty sure I pressed those bus ties. Anyways, they popped out. So you turn on the APU gen, it'll switch over to the APU. So now we're running fully on APU. So we can tell the ground power unit to go away, because we're ready to roll. So get rid of the ground power, get rid of the high pressure, and call for pushback. Okay, so the push cart's going to come, and this is a really cool feature of this plane. So it's going to come, and here, let me go outside view. It'll actually pick up the tire. It's really realistic. It's really quite cool. So it'll close. Oh, we have to... Let's disable our parking brake to get rid of the jetway. And then all you have to do is... oh, chocks. Derp. Gotta get rid of chocks. And gate config. There we go. So now we should be good to go. So what we're going to do is release the parking brake. Okay? And then on your throttle, you're just going to... What I do is I put it up just a little bit, and it's going to start pushing you back. So while it's doing that, and I'm going to stop it just for a second, you're going to come up here, and then you're going to start switching over your engine. So you're going to press this left button here, and then you're going to go over here, turn off your packs for just a second, and then ground. Okay, so I'm going to continue the pushback, and you steer with your rudders with this. Okay, so we're going to monitor it, and it jumps. So once it gets to 20, we're going to throw fuel, and you'll notice it pretty much instantly jumps over. That's just kind of how it is. Okay, and we'll start steering with the rudder to kind of line up. So we're going to wait till this evens out a little bit, and then we'll start the left engine. Okay, so this is kind of going back to normal. You'll notice the flickering. That means we've now gone on to that engine power. So we're almost ready to turn off the APU. We're still pushing back here. Okay, so it's normaled out. So what we're going to do is come up here, switch this twice to continuous, and then turn this one to ground. And then we're going to wait till this right here goes up to 20. This is why I do a slow pushback. Okay? Throw fuel, and it's going to spike over. Give that a minute to start up. Okay, and then we're almost center. So what I'm going to do, a little bit past, that's okay. So I'm going to throttle all the way down. Set our parking brake, right? So now you'll notice we swapped over completely onto our engines. So what we can do is turn our packs back on to auto. So just in case you can't see, it's back on auto. Okay? And then we're going to come back here, turn off the APU and off on the gen. So now we are running fully on the engines, and you're going to see these start to clear. So if we go back, you'll see it drop shortly, and then that message will clear. So we'll give that a second. So let's see here. So we're going to set our flaps, which are 5. I have it assigned to an axis, but you can also use a button. I have a backup button just in case to make sure the flaps retract fully. Okay. Let's make sure everything is looking good. Turn off this. Just do a little check. APU is off. So these are going to be your taxi lights. At least that's what I use them as. Also, I don't know if it's necessary, but I turn all of these on. But I use these as my taxi lights. Because I'm not exactly sure what to use. If I'm wrong, let me know. But that's what I've been using, and I haven't found anything that's really told me otherwise. Taxi, and then maybe it's just that. Anyway, so you'll notice the APU gen light is off, and the APU is powering down. So we can go back to the display, and we'll do a quick test of, oh, no, it's right here. It's the same APU button. So we're going to do a quick flight control test. So we're going to watch here. We're going to do full back. Okay, that's working. Full forward. Full, or center. Full left. Center. Full right. Center. Rudder left. Center. Rudder right. Center. Alright, so we're all good. Everything's working, it seems, so we're going to set this to RTO. I just do it now so I don't forget. We'll clear the parking brake, which I did with my toe brakes. And then we will just go down here. Ground pushback, get rid of that. That's going to go away. Yeah, that wasn't a great pushback, was it? Oh, a little bit of power. Alright, so once that clears, I don't know if it's going to insta-pop away, but we'll taxi 2-hour runway. So we'll start taxiing now, and this needs barely any power, guys. I mean, it's minimal. Let's stop this plugin. Okay, I'm going to turn on my auto LEDs and do its thing. Actually, I'll leave that. So yeah, you don't need a lot of power at all. And then we'll set our altimeter here. Request altimeter 2992. So the cool thing about this plane, I don't know if you've watched other tutorials, but let's say I had to change. Let's say it was 2991, right? So when you change it, you can see this bolt right here, that little arrow. That sends it over here, so you don't have any altimeter mismatches. So the co-pilot's the same as yours. So it's a really good thing to do. So we're going to taxi on over to 34 right, and we'll get this bird off the ground. So again, this is nothing professional. Let's go ahead and turn off our cabin lights as well for takeoff. This is nothing professional. It's just the best way I've learned. Also, wipers are right there, and it has a really nice effect as well. So just kind of a fun extra. Okay, I'm going to speed up the taxing with 6 times ground speed, so we're actually going really, really slow. But I'm just not going to waste your time. And if you want to know how to do that, it's Alt-T. That's how you do that. Let's get out of it. See how slow we're actually going. We'll speed up just a little bit to 4. Okay, and this is a big plane, so you're gonna want to turn pretty wide. Okay, speed up to 6 again. Yeah, I just don't want to waste your time. In reality, I'm actually going like half a mile an hour. Okay. See how slow we were actually going. So, Salt Lake has a little turn to the left. Okay, and then back to the right. I know this is kind of a shitty taxi, but for the sake of my time, I worked a double, so I didn't get to sleep. It's just easier. Okay, so here's where we're gonna go ahead and go on to the runway here. So we're gonna stop right before, get our approval. Oh, we need to set our speed. I usually do 195 because this thing picks up speed fast, and you do not want to stall. Alright, so since we're turning on to the runway, I'm going to go ahead and hit our lights. So hit our runway turn off, turn on our landing lights, and we are good to go. So let's go ahead and turn on. And again, this is a big fucking plane. So I'm going to have to go a little bit wide. Okay, moving across nicely. Just a little bit of precipitation today, but weather's pretty clear. So once you get on the runway, what I'm going to do is stop and line up and just kind of show you the toga way. I like personally just throwing the throttle completely, but I'll teach you the actual toga way. And then I'm going to set this to our runway heading. It's a big, big bird, so I need to line her up. And normally I do a rolling takeoff when I can, just because I think it's badass. Alright guys, so we're lined up. So what we're going to do is we'll actually keep a little bit of a roll. You're going to arm the auto throttle and then click here. What that's going to do is auto throttle, basically. It's going to be your toga switch. This thing likes to pick up early, so I apply some forward pressure. You know, and just for the sake of teaching, I will turn on the yokes. So you'll notice I have a little bit of forward pressure to keep her on the ground. We're going to watch for our V-speed, which you can see the little green tick marks right here. See, this thing picks up and goes. So V1, rotate, pull back slowly. And we're up. So what we're going to do is gear up.
Too low, terrain. Too low, gear.
A little bit of wind.
Low, gear. Too low, gear.
Go ahead and
gear.
start
Too
raising
low,
flaps.
Gear. Too low, gear. Too low, gear. Too low, gear. Too low,
Whoa.
gear.
I think we had a bird strike. Okay. Oh shit, we're fucked.
Caution on taxiway.
Okay.
On taxiway.
Well, that's not fun. What happened? Alright, well, it looks like we didn't exceed the G's. It definitely hurt. We have enough fuel. The fuel pumps were on. What in the fuck? Let's go to replay mode, see what happened. I had enough thrust. It didn't stall, because you saw the smoke. Oh, yep, there it was. Check this out. Right on rotation. There's the birds. Maybe not. You know what? Yeah, we just lost power. I think it was those birds. Okay, let's watch from the inside. I want to see if I did anything wrong. Although it's probably not going to tell me much. Yeah, I've never actually had that happen. The power just went out. I've done this takeoff multiple times. Let's see, I'm 90% sure I saw birds. Let me know what you guys think, because I'm pretty sure right before rotation. Okay, see we rotate? Yep, birds. We had a bird strike. went. Alright, guys, well, I mean, I guess it wasn't the most informative. But I'll be damned if that wasn't cool. And it looks like we barely survived that. Let's see if there's any houses in the way. Let's see if I tried putting her down as nicely as oh, those wings broke off for sure, but I don't know. Maybe it would have been okay. Most likely not. But yeah, that's what happened. So pro tip, turn off random failures. Cause you might just get hit with birds. But anyways, if you guys like this, please let me know. And I'd be willing to do more tutorials for y'all. See, it's weird, in some of the replays they just don't show up. But yeah, if you want to see more tutorials, please let me know. I'd love to do more. I was thinking I'd do IXEG or the MD-80, the A320 I also have. Just let me know what you think, and I'll try to get them done. Yeah, anyways, I will see you guys. Hopefully in a part 2. I'm going to try to redo this and get the actual plane up in the air. So, anyways, guys, I'll see ya.